good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So welcome to Piers Anyone for Ask Me Anything session. So my name is Jeline and this is Belle, and we'll be hosting and sharing the answers today. So in case you're not familiar with Smart Port Challenge, it's actually the flagship event of Piers Anyone, and Piers Anyone actually stands for Port Innovation Ecosystem Reimagined at Block 71. And this is a program which is co-founded by both NPA as well as MUF Enterprise. So this year for Smart Port Challenge, we have 13 innovation opportunities which are supported by more than 20 maritime corporates. So, if you get into the challenge, you can look forward to working with them. So for this session, we do have the answers that you have been waiting for from the corporates as well. So this session, we're covering 2 innovation opportunities. The first one is winning the supply chain. How can we enhance transparency, traceability, regulatory compliance, and accountability at a sector-wide level to enable a green maritime supply chain? That's the first innovation opportunity. So the second one is preparing for electrification. How can electrification technology and infrastructure meet the efficiency as well as cost requirements of the maritime sector? So kick off this session, before we dive into the answers, we actually have a special segment recorded just for you. It's our pleasure to actually introduce a video message from Senior Minister of State, Minister of Finance and Ministry of Transport, Mr. Chee Hong Tat. Yes. So can we have the video on screen, please? Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm happy to join you today to share about the Smart Port Challenge, Piers 71's flagship initiative. Over the years, the challenge has catalyzed many maritime innovations, enhancing Singapore's standing as a leading global maritime technology hub. This year's innovation statements cover 3 important focus areas for Maritime Singapore. First, sustainability to promote the use of green and clean energy and technology. Second, digital transformation to drive efficiency and transparency throughout the supply chain. And third, innovative solutions to enhance the safety and efficiency of port and ship operations. Piers 71 serves as a launchpad for maritime startups to expand their networks, forge partnerships across borders. Over the past few years, the maritime industry and investors have put in $50 million into Piers 71 startups, supporting their expansion in Singapore and overseas. Our Piers 71 alumni have not only raised significant capital, but have also made their mark globally. I'm encouraged to see the growth and success of our Piers 71 alumni as they expand operations and scale up their product offerings. We are proud of their achievements, the value they bring to the industry. Our startup community has taken the initiative to form the Piers 71 Circle to commemorate Piers 71's 5th anniversary. The Piers 71 Circle is an alumni club where members can remain connected wherever they are in the world. The club will also allow members to use their expertise and experiences to benefit future cohorts and to create a thriving startup community for the maritime industry. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur or maritime startup in Singapore, the Smart Port Challenge 2023 awaits you. Come join us to solve the most pressing challenges facing the maritime industry and be part of this exciting journey to shape the future of maritime Singapore.
I hope you enjoyed the video. So the first innovation opportunity you'll be looking at today is preparing for electrification. How can electrification technology, the infrastructure, meet the efficiency as well as cost requirements of the maritime sector? So when we like to begin, I'd like to give a little bit more context of the innovation opportunity. So Belle, will you share a little bit more?
For larger commercial vessels, including offshore support vessels, tankers, container carriers, will likely move to utilizing some form of hybrid electric power system. A hybrid electric power system coupled with a DC-based electrical distribution system will facilitate the adoption of solar power and other energy-efficient technologies. Smaller vessels such as hovercrafts could be a suitable use case for hybrid electric power systems or full electric power systems. For Classification Society, the mission is to assist the maritime industry by developing a practical rules that can be readily adopted by the industry, which also promotes safety of life and property access. For maritime organizations, the organizations have generally shared the following reasons why acceptance and promotion of ship electrification technology is the way to move forward. Firstly, effect on the environment. Ships are a major source of air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Ships may drastically lower their carbon footprint, lessen air, water, and noise pollution, and slow down climate change by switching to electrification technology. As a result of electrification, shipping becomes cleaner and more environmentally friendly by reducing or eliminating emissions from burning fossil fuels. Secondly, adherence to rules. To cut down on emissions from shipping, governments and international organizations are putting stronger regulations into place. The International Maritime Organization, IMO, for instance, has established goals to cut greenhouse gas emissions from international shipping by at least 50% by 2050. Employing electrification technology enables businesses to adhere to regulations and stay out of trouble. Thirdly, cost savings. Compared to conventional fossil fuel-based propulsion systems, electric propulsion systems offer reduced operational costs. Organizations can save money over time by using electrification technology, even if the initial expenditure may be actually more. This is because fuel and maintenance expenses will actually go down. Additionally, as access to renewable energy sources expands, the price of power is probably going to drop even more, making electrification even more profitable. Fourthly, energy efficiency. Compared to conventional combustion engines, electric propulsion systems are typically more energy efficient. They enable greater power generation and optimization, leading to increased energy efficiency and less energy waste. This effectiveness can cut fuel usage and operational costs even more. Fifthly, technological innovation. The maritime sector is driven by adopting electrification technologies. It promotes the growth of more effective and sophisticated electrical and battery technologies, which eventually results in more dependable and effective systems. This in turn may improve the organization's general performance and competitiveness. Adopting electrification technology aboard ships displays an organization's dedication to sustainability and environmental responsibility, which is important given the public's growing environmental awareness and concern. It can improve brand reputation and draw stakeholders, investors, and customers who care about the environment. An organization's social license to operate can be favorably impacted by public support for sustainable practices. In conclusion, businesses must implement electrification technology on ships if they want to lower emissions, comply with rules, save money, increase energy efficiency, encourage innovation, and show that they care about the environment. These adjustments assures that the shipping industry has a sustainable future and is in line with international efforts to mitigate climate change. Moving on to adopting technologies for electrification, Jolene, could you share what are some of the key considerations like corporates actually have?
Sure thing. So there are actually several important factors to consider when a shipping company contemplates using electrification technology. So the very first factor is initial investment. The shipping company must assess the upfront costs associated with acquiring and putting the electrification technology into use. This covers the price of electric vessels, charging stations, and any improvements or alterations required. Secondly, charging infrastructure. Charging infrastructure's accessibility and compatibility are crucial. The shipping company must determine whether the necessary infrastructure already exists or they must be constructed. This taking into account elements such as the number of charging stations, the available power, as well as the required charging times. So the third consideration is the range and energy storage. So electric vessels range and energy storage capacities are essential. The shipping firm should consider whether the electric vessels can go to the necessary distances required on a single charge or whether alternative solutions such as onboard energy storage or fast charging alternatives are required in view of requiring more chargers as well. So the fourth is charging time as well as downtime. This is a crucial consideration to take note of, and this is how much longer it takes to charge an electric ship as compared to refueling a ship with a conventional fuel source. Longer charging times might cause the shipping company to have more downtime, which might reduce the effectiveness as well as efficiency. So to reduce downtime, various tactics such as battery swapping or fast charging may be considered as solutions. So the fifth consideration is operational expenses and savings. The shipping business must assess the operational expenses of electrification in comparison to conventional technologies. It also covers potential cost savings from lower fuel usage and fuel maintenance requirements, as well as ongoing maintenance, electricity prices, and other expenses. So the next consideration is environmental impact. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions and minimizing the environmental impact of shipping operations are the two main justifications for adopting electrification technology. The shipping company needs to evaluate and contrast the environmental advantages such as decreased emissions of carbon as well as other particulate matter. So the seventh consideration is maintenance support. So for example, the system integrator should have stock of all components, as most of the equipment are currently on a lead time of 12 months. So when a corporate adopts a technology and let's say a component happens to fail, vessel owners are unable to wait for 12 months before operating or resumes. In addition, this is important because ports are something that we operate 24/7, so the team should minimally have a team on call to help and support the corporate. So now they have a better idea of the key considerations. Can you also share some opportunities as well as challenges which are involved in electrification technology as well as infrastructure?
Sure thing. Some of the opportunities are firstly, environmental sustainability. Using electrification technology, shipping companies can cut down on their carbon emissions and help the environment. In addition to helping them meet regulatory obligations, this can assist them address the growing climate change issues. Secondly, cost savings. Over time, electric propulsion systems may dramatically lower fuel and maintenance expenses. Electric ships have fewer moving parts than ships powered by fossil fuels, which results in lower maintenance and operating costs. Thirdly, greater energy efficiency. Compared to conventional internal combustion engines, electric propulsion systems are often more energy efficient, resulting in lower energy consumption and greater all-around efficiency. Lastly, increased competitiveness. Businesses who invest in electrification can gain a competitive edge and draw in environmentally conscientious clients because of rising public awareness of and demand for sustainable shipping. And some of the challenges are firstly, high upfront costs. Electrification requires significant investment to provide the necessary infrastructure, including charging stations and battery storage. When compared to traditional fuel-based systems, the initial capital expenditures for deploying electric propulsion systems may potentially be higher. Limited charging infrastructure for larger vessels, there is currently a dearth of charging infrastructure. A significant difficulty is creating a vast network of charging stations that can meet the energy requirements of shipping businesses. Thirdly, limited range and charging time. Because of the limitations of battery technology, the range of electric ships is constrained. These big batteries can take a while to charge, which causes warships to sit idle for longer periods of time. Battery lifespan and disposal. Electric propulsion batteries have a finite lifespan and must be disposed of properly when they are no longer needed. This prompts questions regarding the effects on the environment and the appropriate handling of spent batteries. Fifthly, regulatory and safety considerations. Adherence to numerous safety standards and recommendations is necessary when implementing electrification technology. For shipping firms, maintaining, handling, and operating electric systems safely is a difficulty. Some of the other challenges highlighted are the lack of onshore and offshore charging stations, limited berthing space, speed of charging, energy density of batteries, efficiency of battery swap approaches, and infrastructure investments required, end-of-life disposal, and cost concerns inhibiting early adoption. Which of these challenges are the most pertinent and why?
Thanks for asking. So the most pressing challenges typically depend on the context as well as the goals. But some of the most significant challenges are firstly, the insufficient charging structure. So currently there is a lack of onshore as well as offshore charging stations, and this is a major issue. So supporting electric maritime transportation requires a stable charging station network, and hence insufficient charging structure might be a barrier. So secondly, ports have limited berthing space, so charging stations and battery swaps are a very big demand space in this area. Thirdly, the charging speed. A vessel's operational efficiency and productivity would depend on the charging speed. Charging might delay a ship's schedule and operations, so in order to reduce the downtime and optimize electric vessels use, the charging speed must be improved. Next is also the battery energy density. So energy density indicates how much energy may be stored in its volume or weight. The energy density increases vessel range, operating flexibility, and increased battery energy density can help electric maritime transportation compete with the usual fossil fuel-based choices. So infrastructure investment, end-of-life disposal, and cost concerns are critical, but may not directly affect electric vessel adoption. These issues typically require long-term planning, policy frameworks, as well as collaboration. So next, from the perspective of a classification society, the key concern will be to ensure that the power source, which is typically batteries, has sufficient capacity beyond what is required for normal operations to deal with various emergencies that might happen. So now that we understand a little bit better on opportunities as well as challenges, let's understand and hear from the corporates and some of the options of technologies that they have tested.
Many shipping companies actually have attempted several electrification technologies. Options include, firstly, battery-powered electric ships. Several small ships and ferries use battery electric propulsion. Large battery banks power electric motors on these ships, eliminating fossil fuels. Secondly, hybrid electric ships. These use electric propulsion and internal combustion engines. Electric components reduce fuel consumption and pollutants by powering particular operations or supplemental power. For example, rotor sails on the vessel. Despite these improvements, shipping electrification technology solutions have gaps and challenges. Firstly, range and capacity. Battery range and capacity are the biggest challenges for fully battery electric ships. Large cargo ships demand a lot of power and making battery capacity difficult. Secondly, charging infrastructure. Large ship charging infrastructure is difficult to build. Ships need more charging infrastructure than electric cars, especially for lengthy voyages. Thirdly, cost and retrofitting. Ship electrification is expensive to implement or retrofit. Fourthly, environmental impacts of battery manufacture. Large-scale battery production, such as for electric ships, has environmental impacts. Battery material extraction and production can be environmentally damaging. Shipping electrification requires supportive legal and legislative frameworks. Lack of rules, standards, and incentives can slow industry electrification. After hearing more about all the above, I think it would be great to now share what will make for an ideal solution and what will be some metrics for the success of solution.
For sure. Usually a mix of options would solve the shipping companies' lack of charging infrastructure for the electrification technology. So the first will be public-private partnership. So shipping companies and charging infrastructure providers can speed up port as well as other strategic charging station developments. Secondly, would be the standardization and interoperability. Charging infrastructure must be standardized to enable compatibility between ship models and charging stations. Ships could charge at multiple sites utilizing standardized charging technology. And thirdly, research and development. Faster charging, wireless charging, and alternative charging methods such as hydrogen fuel cells can overcome infrastructure constraints and provide innovative shipping industry solutions. So you know what, Mary thinking, what are some of the solution metrics for a successful solution? So firstly is the number of charging stations that are available. Secondly is the charging capacity of the ships and the batteries. Thirdly, the utilization rate. Fourthly, the emissions reduction. And fifth, the cost effectiveness. So these metrics include for cost effectiveness, include investment ROI, as well as charging infrastructure viability. So I think something else that would be good for solution providers to know is what are some of the challenges they might face in solving this innovation opportunity. Could you share a little bit more, Belle?
No problem. Developing electrification solutions for ships is actually a very difficult task. Challenges could include infrastructure shortages, which means charging stations and battery storage facilities are needed on-site. By working with port authorities and stakeholders to build infrastructure, solution providers can actually overcome this obstacle. Secondly, cost and financing. Batteries, electric propulsion systems, and converting ships can be expensive. Innovative financing approaches, government incentives, and financial institution partnerships can help solution providers lower the cost. Thirdly, limited battery technology. Solution providers can solve this difficulty by researching maritime battery technology, energy storage capacity, and operating efficiency. Fourthly, operational limitations. Electric ships may have lower range speed and cargo capacity than traditional vessels. Optimization, hybrid solutions, and advanced energy management systems can help solution providers solve this difficulty.
So thanks so much, Belle, for sharing. I think we've concluded all the questions and answers for the first innovation opportunity. So let's move on to the second. The second innovation opportunity is greening the supply chain. So to give a little bit more context into the opportunity before jumping into the questions and answers. So we'll share a little bit more of the responses from the corporates. So for ABS, they say that greening a maritime supply chain to them consists of the whole transportation supply chain from the port operations and cargo loading to any activity related to a vessel's operation. This will include maintenance, procurement, docking, bunkering, and others. Greening a supply chain will require the support of all stakeholders. For corporates such as Equatorial Marine Fuel, also known as EMF, it recognizes the significance of maritime decarbonization and has been actively participating in this space for the past few years. They've carried out extensive studies, participated in many forums, sent their staff for upskilling courses, and engaged with numerous suppliers of low and zero carbon fuels, and spoke to their customers extensively on maritime decarbonization. So EMF definitely helps to position themselves so that the customers and partners can see the greatest value that Equatorial is providing in delivering a quality, low, and perhaps even net zero carbon marine fuel. So Belle, do you share some of the key considerations for companies when moving towards a greener maritime supply chain?
Yeah, sure. For companies such as ABS, who is a major service provider to the industry, will focus on optimized service cycles that will allow for minimal disruptions to the transportation works. At the same time, they are positioned to support the green transition of the industry with their technical and safety expertise as required. For TK, some of the key considerations include environmental impact assessments, stakeholder engagement and transparency, continuous improvements of the above with increased regulatory compliance along the entire supply chain. Emission reduction targets using efficiency measures. TK is looking at setting specific targets for reduction aligning with IMO targets or through their company-specific strategy targets. They address this through internal scorecard and environmental strategy. Efficiency measures could be on the external hull, such as paints, pre-swirl and post-swirl ducts, hull cleaning solutions, propeller cleaning, or maintaining flow-free solutions. Other measures could be on internal machineries for fuel savings in the main engines, generators, boilers, and other machineries. Lastly, to measure for improving voyage efficiencies, such as routing, steering efficiencies, etc., to reduce time in port and vessel idling. On the other hand, for EMF, some of the key considerations are provision of lower carbon marine fuels, such as biofuel up to 300 grade, methanol, and with potential to supply ammonia in the near future. The provisions of low or carbon neutral fuel will require building new generations of vessels, upscaling the entire organization, which require the investment of knowledge and new technologies. So, Jolene, why is it important for corporates to work towards enabling a green maritime supply chain?
Thanks for asking. So well, for corporates, they're actually committed to support the industry achieve the target set for reduction of GHG emissions, as well as to provide support to the shipping sector in the regulatory challenges as part of this journey, both from a technical as well as a regulatory aspect. So for EMF, it's crucial to accelerate the process in decarbonization journey, which is the critical part of the green maritime supply chain. So EMF's core business is the physical supply of marine fuels to international ocean-going vessels, and they hope to radically involve the existing business to continue to survive, as well as remain relevant in the pace towards sustainability. This is also an important aspect because the customers have been increasingly more focused on the low carbon marine fuels to run their vessels. So some other areas will include to allow for the regulatory compliance, through risk mitigation, as well as cost reduction with efficiency in place. In addition, it's also to meet the market demand and stakeholders' expectations, because these days many customers, investors, financial institutions, banks, and other stakeholders are increasingly more concerned with environmental goals and seek to engage with companies that are able to demonstrate these responsible practices. So that we have heard why it's important to work on greening the maritime supply chain. Could you share a little bit more on what are some of the areas that corporates are looking at, in working towards this?
Sure. The investment in new tools and methods to enable thorough investigation of safety aspects and technology enablers is key to continue supporting the industry decarbonization and the greening of the maritime supply chain. For fuel efficiency measures, this could include slow steaming, utilizing voyage planning systems to find the most fuel-efficient routes, utilizing the just-in-time concept through projects like Blue Whisper, and working with terminals or oil receivers, etc. In addition, advancements in battery technology, charging infrastructure, and fuel cell efficiency can address challenges related to electrification. This can be especially used for near-coastal vessels, and this attempt has proved to be a success in North Europe for ferries, etc. Other areas that corporates are looking at are to continuously looking at new technologies and their adaptability to the business needs, as well as continuous upscaling and training for staff. Now that we have a better understanding of what corporates are looking for, Jolene, could you share what are some of the opportunities and what are some of the challenges involved in greening the maritime supply chain? What technologies might be able to solve the current challenges?
Sure, let's start off with opportunities. So some opportunities or possible technologies to be developed are to be able to capture and store carbon emission, as well as to enhance the combustion of low or carbon zero marine fuels, so as to match the energy output of conventional fuel, such as heavy fuel oil and marine gas oils. Secondly, environmental benefits as well. Because there are a lot of ships in the ocean, the amount of pollution, so if we can change that, I think it will benefit the environment very, very much. Next, we'll also be partnering in innovation and technological development, as well as infrastructure development and the availability of alternate fuels. So some of the challenges that might be faced are that challenges are usually that people see first when adopt a more see first approach when dealing with upcoming disruption or new technologies. So even more so when they addresses the energy sources for the industry and the core infrastructure that has been used for quite a few years. So that may include the challenges of retrofitting efficiency improvement technologies on existing ships, especially more ambitious technologies like wind-assisted propulsion, air-hull lubrication, as well as others, the industry digitalization, as well as the adoption of alternative fuels. On the other hand, the decarbonization pathways will be enabled by technologies like onboard carbon capture and synthetic fuel production, processes that will generate new business opportunities within the carbon as well as hydrogen value chains. So I think what would be great for them to know is to hear what corporates have been actually working on to enable a greener maritime supply chain.
Yeah. For ENF, they have actually obtained the International Sustainability and Carbon Certification, SPC, and are ready to supply biofuels up to B24. In addition to the above, ENF is building actually new bunker tankers which can transport and supply methanol and biofuels up to B100. These new bunker tankers are being built to the relevant chemical tanker specifications. ENF is an active member on the working group on methanol bunkering under the Standard Development Organization (SDO) of the Singapore Chemical Industry Council, and are presently looking to co-lead the subgroup on bunker tanker specification. Equatorial sends its staff to understand and train in handling of LNG bunkering vessels and performing LNG bunkering operations. ENF has studied the building of the LNG bunkering tankers. Presently, we have a tie-up with a licensed Singapore LNG bunker supplier to supply LNG bunkers in the port of Singapore. For other corporates, these are some of the other areas that the companies have tried out. For digitalization and data analytic tools with data capture on board ships are improving. With the availability and speed of the internet on board, there is better flow of data assured for a broader audience for better analysis. By leveraging and utilizing data analytics with advanced technology solutions like machine learning and AI, we can gather and analyze data related to vessel operations, fuel consumption, emissions, and route optimization. This data-driven approach allows for informed decision-making and identification of opportunities for improving efficiency. However, challenges may arise in terms of data integration, cybersecurity, and the need for skilled personnel to interpret and utilize the data efficiently. Gaps have been the quality of data, availability of good analytic tools, and analysis versus actual benefits seen.
Thanks, Belle, for sharing. So before we end off this segment, our final word from our corporates, they would like to share that the green supply chain should provide access to emerging markets and funding sources that prioritize sustainability. So there is really a market opportunity for you should you decide to tackle this innovation opportunity. There are also a lot of active partnerships with shipping companies, ports, research institutions, regulators, and other stakeholders that can foster knowledge exchange, resource sharing, and joint initiatives to accelerate sustainable transformation. All these initiatives will help to build trust, align goals, and drive collective actions within the stakeholders, the various stakeholders in the industry. For example, development of infrastructure as well as knowledge bases of alternate fuel bunkering facilities will be able to lead to stronger collaborations with port authorities, energy providers, and other stakeholders to better combat emissions. So thank you to everyone who actually submitted their questions, and I hope you learned a lot from this session about the two innovation opportunities. So for startups, we encourage you to put forth your proposals, and if you're successful, we can look forward to working with these maritime corporates. So we also do have upcoming Ask Me Anything sessions as well as roadshows. So our very next roadshow will be happening tomorrow. So roadshow is a little bit different from Ask Me Anything sessions. So for roadshows, the corporates will be here, so you get to hear the answers right directly from them. So next one will be tomorrow. 7th of July, 4 p.m. It will be held physically at Pier 71 at Ayer Rajah Crescent. It will also be streamed online. But for those who join us in person, you can look forward to networking opportunities with MPA. So the two innovation opportunities that will be covered are wireless connectivity in port waters, as well as black smoke emissions. So beyond this roadshow, we also have other upcoming roadshows. So on the 18th of July, we'll be focusing on marine insurance. This is something that is up and coming, and it's a space that there aren't many players in the marine insurance yet. So it's something that you could look to explore. So LloydsNet is a supporting corporate for this innovation opportunity, and it would be a great opportunity to come down, speak to them directly, and learn exactly what they're looking for in a solution. So on 19th July, we also are going to talk about biofuel adoption. And 2 days after that, on 20th July and 21st July, we will be covering cyber readiness as well as voyage optimization. So to register for our events, you can follow us on LinkedIn, or you can go onto the Pier 71 website at pier71.sg/news-events to sign up. So just wanted to share that the Smart Port Challenge applications are open until the end of this month, 31st July 2023, 5 p.m. SGT. So you can scan the QR code on the right if you'd like to submit your entries, and if you'd like to learn more about these two innovation opportunities that we have shared today, or the others that we have, do scan the QR code on the left. So for startups, we also invite you to actually continue following us on LinkedIn. Grab the next slide, please. So I invite you to follow us on LinkedIn. You can get updates to various roadshows, to various content about the industry, as well as our startups, and you can keep track of all the events that will be upcoming this year. So if you want to join our mailing list, you can do so by scanning the QR code on the right as well. So for startups who are attending today, I thank you for your time, as well as I hope that you have learned more and look forward your application, and I hope you look forward to working with this corporate and joining Pier 71 Accelerate as well. So thank you for your time today, and goodbye, everybody.